Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about couple and principle of moments. So first we'll discuss couple. You must have opened the lid of any bottle by applying the force like this, right? So what we are doing actually, if you look at this, what am I doing? Look, with this central finger, I am applying force this way, and look at this again. And with this thumb I am applying the force towards up. Look at this. So this finger is applying force this way and this finger is applying force this way. So two equal and opposite forces separated by some distance. In other words, two equal and opposite forces which act along different lines of action constitute a couple. So what does that mean? If we have this, let's take this example of lid only. If this is the force first, this is the force second. So if this force would have acted here, then the line of action of the force is along a straight line. But if this one force is acting this way, this force is acting this way, so the line of action is separated by this distance. Yes, so if we can say here, the line of action here is separated by d distance, perpendicular distance between the two forces. So this constitutes couple. So you can write in short, two equal and opposite forces separated by some distance, or two equal and opposite forces acting along different line of action. Acting along different line, that is obviously of action. So this constitutes couple. Right? So we can write that couple is equal to either force into perpendicular distance. Right? This formula will be used in 12th standard also. So there is a question given in your NCERT, example 7.7, which says show that moment of couple does not depend on the point about which you take the moments. So we have to prove that moment of couple does not depend on axis or the point about which we take moments. Very small derivation here for this. So I'll draw a diagram for that. Suppose I have this point about which I have to take the moment. This is force F acting here. This is force F acting here. This is point A, this is point B, right? So we can write that here moment of force F about O. That means moment at of force F point at A point. Moment of point A about O plus moment of point B about O. This gives us total moment, or you can say that it is the moment of a couple. This is the moment of a couple, right? So if I take the moment of point A, so this is force multiplied by perpendicular distance. We know that whenever we take the moment, we multiply the force with the perpendicular distance. This is AO, right? Plus moment of point B about O. So point B is having force F again. Separation is BO, right? So F I can take common, AO plus BO. This gives me F into D. If I say that this total distance is D, this is the separation between AB. So whatever point about which we are taking the moment, the total moment of a couple of these two equal and opposite forces, this depends on the separation between the 2 points at which we are applying the equal forces, right? So this is clear that the total distance between the 2 points is involved here. So that means it does not depend where the point O is, right? So now we take the principle of moments, right? Or principle of moments. For principle of moments, we need to understand the equilibrium concept also. If we talk about equilibrium, we talk about translational, equilibrium and rotational equilibrium, right? Translational equilibrium means that the net force must be 0, net external force must be 0, or for rotational equilibrium you can say that net external torque must be 0, right? So if we are talking about the principle of moments, let's take the case of a lever. You have studied about lever in your lower classes. What is a simple lever? If we have a straight rod, it is pivoted somewhere here, then this point is called as fulcrum. Wherever we apply a load, this is called as, wherever we apply the load is called load arm. This is the load, and this distance of this point from the fulcrum is called as load arm. The point at which F2 is applied, this is called effort here, and this distance from the fulcrum is called as effort arm, right? Now again, one more thing here, this load is kept here and this is acting in downward direction, so you can say that this is trying to rotate it this way, that means it is anti-clock, this will provide anti-clock moment or anti-clock torque. So here this one is providing clockwise moment, or you can say the clockwise torque, right? So you must have seen this in the uh, parks, right? You must have seen the seesaw. There you must have seen that children sit on the ends, and then if they are of comparable weight, then there is a balance between the two. If this fulcrum is at the center, and if it is at one end, then again it is at somewhere else, then the principle of moments holds for the equilibrium of that seesaw. So I'll have to rub this page for writing further. So let's take the diagram once again. This is your fulcrum. This is F2, that is effort, and this is the load, which is F1, and this is load arm, this is effort arm. If we say that this is the distance of the fulcrum from loads, so D1 we are marking by this distance, D2 we are marking as effort arm. So by principle of moments, load into load arm is equal to effort into effort arm. How we have got this result? This is called as principle of moment. So you can write this F1 into D1 is equal to F2 into D2. How we have got this? I'll explain that while writing the reason in the bracket. Since, right? For equilibrium, we know that it is pivoted here. So there is no, there must be no translational motion for equilibrium and no rotation. So let's check that here. So for no translation, the net force must be zero. If we look at this diagram, the fulcrum is here. There is a reaction of this fulcrum. So if there is no translational motion, so we can say that F1 plus F2 minus R is equal to 0. R is in opposite direction. If we are talking about, because for no translation, sigma F must be 0, net force must be 0. For no rotation, net torque must be 0. Now look at this. If we are talking about torque, so torque for load arm will be F1 into D1, because this is the axis, force into distance from the axis of rotation, perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. This is the formula for torque. Torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance from axis of rotation. Right? So F1 into D1, and what will be the moment of this force, that is the torque due to this force? So this will be F2 into D2. Now here one sign convention is there. By convention, torque which is anti-clock is taken as positive and clockwise torque is taken as negative. So F1 is which type of torque we had discussed in the previous slide? This is rotating this way. So this is anti-clock. This will provide anti-clock torque. And this effort will provide, look at the direction sense here. So this will provide clockwise torque, right? So we are saying that anti-clock is taken positive. So this one we are taking positive and clockwise we are taking this, and for equilibrium, that means no rotation, this net torque must be 0. So from here F1 d1 is equal to F2 d2, and this is what our principle of movement says, right? So this is our principle of movement. We have a question in your NCERT based on this principle of movement. Now we have another concept, mechanical advantage. Hope you have studied in lower classes. I don't know. Mechanical advantage. Now this is given by MA, and this gives us how much load we are lifting upon how much effort we are applying. So if we find the ratio from this equation, I'm marking this as equation 1. So from 1, F1 by F2 is equal to D2 by D1. So this is also a relation. This is from equation 1. So mechanical advantage is greater than 1 if less effort is required to lift a load. What is F2 here? F2 is the effort. So F2 is less. If F1 is greater and F2 is less, then it will be greater than 1, right? And if we look at this term, at this mechanical advantage in terms of this distance from the axis of rotation, so if the distance, if the effort arm is longer, then the mechanical advantage is more. So if you must have observed this in daily life also, effort arm is longer, it gives more mechanical advantage, right? So this is all about your principle of movements. Hope you have understood. That's all for now. Have a nice day.